Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Vulcan Getting Started. Looks like we're not doing so well on our health here. Let's do a quick top up here. So in this episode, we've created a greenhouse. We've got some oxygen production, and it's a little bit of work keeping it going. So we're going to try to fix up our oxygen reclamation system a bit, make it a little bit more automatic, and do some other housekeeping type things. Oh, there goes another can of food. So we're going to be doing a little bit of IC10 programming. That battery's low. And we put these canisters here the other day. Let's throw this in here too. We might need that later. Got these canisters here full of water. Wanted to remember to bring them in. They're still going to be a little warm. We've left them in the workshop, so they're 127 degrees Celsius, or should be. We should check that. $129, 127, yeah. So I'd like to let them cool down a little bit. Let's put them over here by the radiators. They'll heat up this area of the room and then get cooled down by these radiators. It's still doing okay, $299. And how are you doing in here? It's funny, like all of the surface area of these hydroponics trays, you think that would have cooled down by now, but they really don't cool down very fast. 46%, 3.53 MPa. Let's top that up then. Keep that going. Guess we could harvest these tomatoes. Build up our food supply a little bit. It doesn't hurt. Right, let's put the tomatoes in the fridge. Remember to close the door this time. Put the can away. Get started on... We need insulated pipes, but we need some steel. Like I said, we're going to work on our oxygen system. It would be nice if we could actually get oxygen, fill up our oxygen in this room. We'll start on an IC10. We don't have electrum. We don't, and we borrowed the electrum from over there. I think we have some silver. Yes, we do. Let's see if we can make some electrum. Equal parts silver and gold. Doesn't require that much temperature. 600 degrees Kelvin. We've got 700. We're probably okay. We need to pump out some though. We need to get it down below 2.4 megapascals. And I want to expand that platform over behind the base. So let's make some iron frames. I'm gonna make some cable coils just because we're gonna need to wire some stuff up. IC10s and so on. I overdid it. Oh, that's good. It's still hot. I think we need to get a minimum of 800. Yep, there we go. That should make some electrum. Good. I'd like to split this and put a little bit in the hydraulic printer. hydraulics printer. 10 is good, just in case we need to make something else over there. And there we go. Put the 30 in there so we can make IC10s. That's the end of our copper, it looks like. Let's make an IC10. Doesn't need copper. That's nice. You can... guess you can go back in there. You're 10. Oh, I left this on. That's probably more than I need. I think I only need 10 or 12. Alright. And another one. Wonderful. Iron sheets, yes. And that's all the iron. That's nice. Let that run for a bit. Here's my IC10. Need a housing. Copper. Stick you in there for a bit. Yeah, that's not bad. What else is on our list? You're almost done? Nope. You could make cables. And maybe I could make a sensor in here. We'll need a sensor for our automation. Oh, you're slow. Okay, you're almost done. Let's just keep that on us. And make cables here. Yes. Sensor done. One of the things we want to do with our automation is we want to know when our filters have run out. That's fairly simple to do, but we'll need some warning lights. So these flashing lights make good warning lights. It's good. Keep making the cables. Oh yeah, it's nice and cool out. A little above boiling. Yeah. Before I forget, I ran out of silicon there. Let's go grab some silicon very quickly. Let's just throw that in here and get it going. We might need some pipes later. And take this with us. How are you doing for hydrogen? Oh yeah, pretty good. 1.18 thousand. So let's make some more water. While we're waiting for that, I'm a little concerned that I ran out of iron. I think there's a bit of iron over here. Yep, there's some iron. Don't want to get too much. I'm not really at a resource intensive part of the base build. It's really more of a labor thing. Good. Oh, more over here. A little bit more than a stack and a half. And there's the shuttle. And we are almost done. There we go. Uh-huh. Let's make some of those pipes right now. We got 8. That's 9. I don't actually think we need that many. There's the iron. Let's do the rest. Power's doing well. Let's zip into here.
Hydration critical.
How's this pipe doing? Oh, it's empty. Well, we still haven't reached 101 pressure yet. So it's completely depressurizing every time. 4.3, it's coming up a bit. Let's disassemble this. I would like this filtration unit to output directly into that pipe section and go right into the tank. That's good. Actually, let's just put that right here. Okay. Let's take that. We didn't lose any oxygen there. It went into the other pipe. And let's reconnect that. Okay, so now all the oxygen is going to go through that pipe into the tank. Reclaim some of this cabling. We're going to need to hook up to the data port on this thing. And we're going to need, oops, we're going to need power out the back here. Because I'm planning to move the regulator out the back so that we can send regulated pressure over into the workshop. Ah, really butterfingers today. There we go. And that actually, up there, is into the tank. We'll need the tank. One of the things we want to do with the automation is prevent overfilling this tank now. So we'll need to be able to read the tank pressure. All right. And we need a warning light, like we said, for the filter levels. Stick that there and connect it up. Good. And we need a sensor up here to measure the room. What I'd like to do is only run the filtration once the oxygen gets high enough. That's going to save our filters a bit. If you run them all the time, they're basically time-based, and they wear out very quickly if you're running them 100% of the time. If you let the oxygen in the room get a little higher, it'll actually be more efficient when it's taking oxygen out. Right now, if you run it all the time, it basically runs down until it reaches a level where the amount of oxygen being generated is the same as what's being taken out by the filter, and that seems to be about 2%. So we could bump that up a little bit and allow more oxygen in the room, and then when we run it, it'll run more efficiently. All right, let's build this out a little bit. So we can get over here. And let's follow our pattern here and make it look like it's structurally sound. Oh, I didn't swap the battery. This is a little battery. That's okay. Good. All right. How are you doing? You're empty, I assume. Good. Turn you off. You're probably full. Throw you in there. You're 100. Good. I was thinking it would be nice to have a filling station in this corner. Oh, hold on here. Which button? Okay, that's the right way up. Yeah, that looks like it's out. That doesn't look like it's out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good. Insulated pipes. I placed it on a frame, so even if we leave a canister in there, well, it'll still be exposed to the hot air in this room, so we don't really want to do that. But it'll be nice if we can just quickly throw a canister in there. Okay, we'll go that way. Let's go around the back. While we're thinking about this, we have another little one over here. There it is. All topped up. Yep, that's okay. Now, we want to take from the tank. That's a pressure regulator. Let's go in the right way. We'll stick that in there. And then hopefully we have enough. Oh, it's getting light. Good. And then we have to connect. Oops. Let's just quickly connect this over here. Get some power. It's gonna get warm soon. Yeah, that's fine. Not perfect, but it's fine. We generally want somewhere around 7 MPa. Doesn't matter, we just don't want to go over 10 because that'll blow up whatever we're filling. Yeah, 7's good. And we'll just leave that on. It's a little bit wasteful of power, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so it's going down and that's filling up. That'll take a while, but basically it'll get to around 7 and it'll just stay there. And then once in a while we'll throw a canister in there and fill it up, and that'll be fine. Let me back in. There we go. And let's see here. Let's make another meter just so that we can watch the pressure from this side. And we'll want that to be a white pipe meter. Good. And you can go on there. Good. Oh, 0.6 MPa. All right. And that shouldn't overpressure and explode. It's wonderful. Oh, guess I should cancel that. I'm still acting like I don't have an infinite water supply now, and I'm still rationing. At least I'm drinking all the way up to 100% now on my thirst meter. Let's go. Let's check this out. Okay. Starts at 8.15. Ooh, still has some left in there. So we made it to 101, and the pressure in here is 102. So we gotta remember later to fix that airlock, or else it's just gonna keep increasing the pressure every time we cycle. Oh, I forgot to turn that on, but that's fine. Let's turn that on. We're at about 3% in here. That's starting to fill up. And starting to go down again. Because it's filling up the other side. Guess we could probably harvest these. Good. Something I'm forgetting. Yeah, I wanted to... Okay, these are at 30 degrees. Yeah, that's good. So they've cooled down to room temperature. So let's fill these up. That's good. Now, what are these at now? About 20 kPa. That's really good. That's going to last a long time. You'll know if you run out because suddenly the plants will all start dying. Good. Okay, you're at 2.3 already. That's not bad. Let's just refill that in case we need to make some more water. And let's start thinking about... Oh, just gotta scroll up. Thinking about the code we're gonna write. Okay, so this is gonna control our oxygen filtration. We want to look at our room sensor. We'll make that D0. And then we need an alias for the O2 filtration unit. D2. And the tank. I like to put my inputs at the beginning there. Remember, we didn't want to overfill the tank. So end, yield, jump back to start loop. Okay. So what do we want to read here? Well, we want to run the filtration when there's enough oxygen and the tank is not full. So we need those two conditions. So let's make an alias for our room oxygen O2. And we'll call that R2, register 2. And then we need another R for the tank pressure register, R3. So let's grab those now. So load into our room O2, which is really our ratio of O2 in the room, from the room sensor, and we want ratio oxygen. Good. That'll be a number from 0 to 1. Now we need to load into the tank pressure variable, from the tank, the pressure variable. So now we need some Boolean or on-off variables. So one will be enough O2, or enough oxygen in the room, and the other one will be tank not full. And then when those two are true, we'll run the filtration. So we need to set when greater than or equal to, we want to write into be enough O2 when the room O2 is greater than 3%. And the tank is not less than. So tank is not full when the tank pressure is less than some amount that won't blow up the pipes. 40,000 is fine. That's a lot. Okay. So now we want to run when both of those are true. So we use the AND instruction, enough O2 and tank not full. If I could spell. Those go into our temporary variable R0, and then we turn on the filtration unit when R0 is true. Good. Next thing we want to do is we want to turn on our flashlight. I think I have these in the wrong. So 3 is on the upper right, 4 is next to it. So keep my inputs on the left and outputs on the right. Turn on the flashing light when our filters are low. So we want to warn if filters low. So we want to load from a slot into R0. This will be slot 0. So from the O2 filtration, slot 0, quantity. That's how much filters left. And then same thing, R1, O2 filtration, slot 1 is quantity. So now we have both of them. We got to figure out which is less. So let's go make a variable. We'll just call it our min filter for R6. And then we'll use the min instruction into our min filter from R0 or R1. So then let's make another variable. Since we have lots of them, we want to warn if the filter, R7. So when, okay, we want to warn for the filter if our min filter is less than 5%. That's a reasonable warning. Either one is less than 5%. So then we want to set the flashing light on when warned filter is true. That should be it. Let's export that. Battery's full, that's nice. Let's go in here. How's this one doing? It was at 8.13 when we started, or 1.5 when we started last time. Now it's at 8.3, so it's gaining 150 kPa or so every time. Gonna have to fix that. Okay, turn you on momentarily. Need the screwdriver. I wanted to name these things. Here we go. No. Oh, I took the battery out. Huh. I forgot I could do that. Battery back in. We'll call you the O2 filtration. You are the O2 flashing light, just in case we extend this outdoors. And this will be the room sensor. in case we have a sensor outside. All right, so room sensor. There it is. And the tank is just small tank insulated. That's empty. O2 filtration. There it is. And the flashing light. There it is. Okay, good. Now what did it do? It turned it off, which makes sense because and let's test these. Yeah, they both work. So it's just turned off because the percent, we got none in there, percent oxygen is 2%, so it has to get up to about 3% before it'll actually turn it back on, which is fine. You're at 33%, you're okay. And now the light will warn me. Right. We were going to do something with you. Let's turn that off and make sure everything actually stayed off. Stick you over there. We were going to put a flashing light on this system as well. Alrighty. That's all named, right? Yep, that's room exhaust, and the other one is CO2 filtration. So let's take this chip quickly. This room will stay cool long enough that we can go reprogram it. Okay, remember to change change the pressure. So the internal, I think we had the set point at 103, so it should always be just below 103. Let's turn this on. We'll import from it. We don't have any more pins left. Let's go get the hash for a flashing light. We'll use a batch rate, so we'll copy that one. And then we'll use a define statement. Flashing light. I think that's wrong. 2 L's. L-I-G-H-T. There we go. Control V to paste it. Room exhaust and CO2 filter. Okay. And let's make some variables. We will need our O2 filter level, R10, and our CO2 filter level. If I could spell it right. The O2 is the room exhaust. Okay, now let's go down here. Check O2 filter in room exhaust. Load from slot again into R0 from the room exhaust device, 0 slot and quantity. Same thing for slot 1. And then we want to do the minimum again. And it was called our O2 filter of R0 and R1. Okay. Now we need to check CO2 filters. And we're doing the same thing, but from a different device. CO2 filter, 0 quantity, load slot, R1 DCO2 filter, slot 1 quantity, and then min into our CO2 filter of R0 and R1. Right. Now we kind of need to look at both of these when we turn on. So we want to warn if the filters are low. Min R0 from the two variables, our O2 filter and CO2 filter. And then set, if it's less than, let's go make a variable for that. got all these registers left. Alias, a Boolean, worn filter, R12. So set if we're less than to worn filter variable of R0 being less than 5, I guess, again. Good. And then we have to turn on, we'll have to use a batch right flashlight on warning filter. Good. Export that. We'll stick this in here before it gets too hot in here. Or if the pressure goes down too far. Because right now we're converting carbon dioxide to oxygen, and then we're releasing the oxygen into the tank. Okay, so we're still at 102. Didn't make much difference. Let's do that. Turn you back on. Should just work. So, guess we could test this. That should turn the light on, so should that. And that turns the light on, and that does. Good, it's working. And how are you doing? Oh, you're on. So, and then it turned off. So we must be up around 3%. Yep, 3% of oxygen in the room. That's good. So those filters should last a bit longer than they were before. And get some more tomatoes. Good. Oh, now we don't have to obsessively check them anymore. Oh, it's like a vegetable garden in here. Good. And how are you doing? 2.6, 2.7? Sounds good. Battery's doing well. Looks like we need to top up as well. Good. Well, I think I'm going to leave it here for this episode. I'll come back in the next episode after I've topped everything up. Thank you very much. And I'll catch you in episode 9, where we're going to figure out, I think, how to automate the H2 combustor, which is actually going to be a bit of a challenge. So subscribe if you want to see that, and I'll see you next time.